Hey, all you evil, tyrannical dictators out there, here's lesson number 1 in controlling people. You gotta take away their ability to defend themselves. Guns would be what you would take away today. Back in the days of the Philistines, 1 Samuel 14, you take away their swords and their spears. And if they want farming implements like sickles and hoes for the cabbages, why, that's fine, but you gotta come to the Philistines to get them sharpened. You think I'm kidding? Read 1 Samuel 14. All right, that's what you do when you want to control people. You take away their weapons, their ability to defend themselves. All right, Hitler knew this. He worked it very well in 1930s Germany. Look what happened. 1890, U.S. government knew this, and we were taking guns away from the Indians. And at Wounded Knee, South Dakota, a gun confiscation turned into a massacre where we murdered about 300 Indians, men, women, and children. So when someone says we need to take all the weapons, you watch out for that person, because that rarely ends well. And we have known this since at least 1775. In Boston, a British commander heard that there was arms stashed at Concord and possibly Lexington. So he sent some foot soldiers with sealed orders. They didn't even know where they were going or what they were going to do. Down the road, they ended up going to Lexington, and the militiamen there, they didn't block the road, but they were standing off at the edges, and they put on a show of force. One thing led to another. Very high tensions were going on. Remember, the war had not started yet. We had not declared our independence, so this was kind of an eggshell, high-strung situation, but it wasn't all out war. It wasn't a, there's the British, let's shoot them, that sort of thing. It was still, these were the king's men, we were the king's subjects, yada, yada, yada. Okay, now, there was a volley, 8 or 9 militiamen died there on Lexington Green. The rest dispersed. The British continued on to Concord, where they knew there was a stash of weapons and ammo. Now, they knew you don't need a brown vest musket to kill deer with. It wouldn't be a very good tool, actually. Just like this is not a deer hunting rifle. All right, so that's what these colonists had, a bunch of army-style muskets and stuff. And over the previous week, they heard something like this might happen, and they started getting them out of there. So by the time the British got there, there really weren't any weapons. There was some ammunition and some food stashed away, and they ended up throwing it into this pond. And then they walked away, marched back to Boston. The militia fished a lot of the stuff out and were able to recover it. And then that's when it started getting hairy for the British. Militia started firing at them basically all the way back into Boston, which was many miles away. So that was an interesting time. It was one of the first real engagements that Americans said, this is about to get serious. And it started with a gun grab. So, Americans don't like gun grabs, never have, and never will.